Alrighty, this is activity numero uno. We are going to be adding time to start off with. So, I'm going to give you a problem where I show you number lines already there, and we're going to practice on their number lines. Sometimes number lines are very, very helpful for looking at time, but you won't have a number line all the time. And so I will also show you how to create your own number line. Kabish? Go ahead and stand up for this problem because I have a lot of people fidgeting with things and not really listening. So your eyeballs should be where? Up front on the board. Our hands don't need anything in them. And we are ready to look at numero uno. You don't need to see the Viking screen. You probably want to see our problem, huh?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Probably.
It might be helpful for math. I don't know.
No.
Here we go. Numero uno. Keisha went into a park at 1:30 p.m. Did you already talk about what p.m. means?
Yes.
Do I have a mathematician that can remind me for a point what p.m. means when we're talking about time? Eli?
Afternoon.
It means afternoon. Go ahead and use your marker to give us a point. What do you say? I am waiting on 1, 2, 3 friends to follow directions and be standing up right now. No, we did not get the 3. Keisha went into a park at 1:30 p.m. She hiked for 1 hour, 35 minutes. Then she went to the picnic area for 45 minutes and left the park. What time did Keisha leave the park? Now, when we're doing problems like this and we are adding time, they actually marked the starting time already on this one. So there's a couple things with our number lines. Focus, focus. Every time you're using a number line, you need to figure out how much time is passing in between each line. What's the first thing that you need to assess? Braylon? Good. How much time is passing in between each line? So here's what we would do, looking at this number line here. Between 1 and 1:30, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 intervals, right? There's 6 lines in between 1 and 1:30. And so we would have to think, what times 6 would give me that 30 minutes? What do I multiply by 6 to get 30, Jade? 6 times 6 is 36. It's got to be less than 6. What do I multiply by 6 to get 30? And you can totally phone a friend too if you want to. I get it, it's early. 5 times 6. That tells you, because there's 6 jumps or 6 lines in between this, and it's 30 minutes. And 5 times 6 is 30. We know that each line represents 5 minutes. How much does each line represent? If you can promise me that you will be focused and sitting up and ready to learn, you may sit down. Okay? If you don't think you can handle it, go ahead and stay standing. Okay? We don't sit on top of our desks ever, though. Right? All right, so they put a little arrow here. I usually just put a star. What do I usually put, Landon? Just a little star. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because most of the problems, they don't mark it for us. Hadley, you may not sit on your desk. So I'm marking 1:30 because they have that already marked for me. That's when she started her time. That's when she went to the park. I'm going to pause because I'm hearing sounds that are very unexpected. That includes chairs and bumping my cabinets back there. Okay. Then it says, she hiked for 1 hour, 35 minutes. We started at 1:30. We're going to have to add that time, right? What mathematician can tell me an hour after 1:30? What time would that be? I went from 1:30 to an hour later would be 2:30. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and just make that one big jump. That's 1 hour. Okay, so I'm going to put a check mark above that. And this is what I do. I go ahead and I use their words as like my checklist to make sure that I jump the correct things. Because it's really easy to get off on these timelines, I think, these number lines. So I've gone 1 hour. How much more do I need to go, friends? 35 minutes right now. So I know that it's 30 minutes from 2:30 to 3. So there's 30 minutes. And then how much does each line represent, everybody? 5 minutes on this one. So that's 35 minutes. So I've done that. Read this next sentence with me, please. Then she went to the picnic area for
45 minutes.
and left the park. So I underline any time that they're telling me a chunk of time. I have to count how much more time on here. Emerson,
It's
how much more time do I need to count on my number line?
45 minutes.
45 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. We know the lines are counting by 5, so please count with me. 5, 10,
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
and that's when she left the park. So I'm going to put a little end dot here, reminding my brain that that's my end time. From start to finish, that's how much time she was at the park. So here's the tough part. They don't have a time written on this, right? This dot doesn't have a specific time. And they want to know, what time was that? What time did Keisha leave the park? Who thinks they could figure out how to know what time that is? If it's 2 lines before 4 o'clock, and we know each line is 5 minutes, how can I figure out what that actual time is? Can you get?
So you could subtract from 4 o'clock, or you could just add up 3
From 3? I love it. Yeah, you're right. We could totally say we could go 10 minutes before 4. Does anybody know what 10 till 4 is? Braylon? So Braylon says that would be 3:50. Or he's absolutely right. We can also add up from the last time we know. So let's go ahead and start with that and double check and see if it's 3:50. So we'll start at 3:30, 3:35, 3:40, 45. What's my end time? Ellie? 3:50. Now here's the last tricky part. How do I know if it's AM or PM? Eli.
It's PM because she left at 1:30 p.m.
Bingo. And
in the afternoon.
it is in the afternoon. Has she gone like enough time to get back to the morning?
No.
I hope not, because hiking overnight would be creepy. But don't forget, we always put labels on our work. In time, your label is always AM or PM. And Hendrix, this one would be PM. Very good. Keep your feet down, dude. And we're going to do another one. What's up? No. Numero dos. All right, this guy's name is Lauren. Please read it with me. Everybody sitting up? Addison? Hadley, go ahead and have a seat so that you can be sitting up with us.
Can we also write this on our desks?
Not this one. This one I'm going to have you guys come up here and draw my number line. His name is Lauren. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Read with me, please. Lauren arrived at the Children's Museum
At 1:15 p.m.
first.
She spent
30
minutes looking at the dinosaur exhibit.
Next,
She watched a movie for 20 minutes.
then he spent
15 minutes in the museum gift shop.
what time did Lauren leave the museum? How long was
Was he in the museum?
Oh my goodness, I have 2 questions. I have jobs for mathematicians. My first job is for one mathematician to come up here and point to all of my key information where there's time that I should be underlining and marking in here. Okay? Who wants to come and point any time that there's a time listed or saying like more minutes, more minutes, more minutes? Macy, come on up. Go for it, girly. Okay, so 20 minutes right there. 30 minutes here. 15 minutes. Any other times? You betcha. 1:15 p.m. Did we get them all, friends? It's harder for me to look at it backwards. I think you got them all. Nice work, Maisie. Okay, here's my next step. I need somebody to go ahead and tell me what is my start time and point to where that would be on my number line below. Figure out what is my start time and point to where that would be on the number line below. Hendrix. Let me make sure I got the right one. Right here?
Yeah.
All right, what do you guys think? Does that look like the right spot?
Yeah.
1:15 p.m. Looks good to me, so I'm going to put a star for my start time. What did I put?
Star for start time.
Rylan, what did I put?
Star for start time.
Landon, what did I put?
Star for start.
Bingo. And I'm actually going to label that as 1:15 p.m. so that I don't forget. That's my start time. And I'm going to check it off on my list of underlined things because we've already marked it. Now, who can tell me my next time chunk that I'm looking for? We took care of 1:15 p.m. What's the next key time spot we've marked on here? Hadley? $30. So go ahead, Hadley, and you're going to start with a star, and you're going to count 30 minutes on these lines. Ready? And you could actually point and count them. 5. We'll count by 5s. 5.
30.
Bingo. 30 minutes. Okay, we'll make that jump. That was my 30-minute jump. And since I marked it, I get to check it off. Who wants to come find my next time chunk and count it up here? Addison. What's the next time chunk on here?
Like the big number?
So we found 1:15 was my start time. Then he went 30 minutes at the dinosaur exhibits. What's the next chunk of time? The next key information we underlined.
Right there.
Come show us. You can put your markers away and come point up here. So you will start where Hadley ended off and you'll count by 5s, 20 more minutes. So you can show us with your finger. You go 5. And so this one's 0, right? So then we'll count 5, 10, 15, 20. Bingo, keep that finger there so I can mark it. And 1 after 2, right? Look good?
Yep.
So 30 minutes, 20 minutes, we marked it so we can check it off.
Check it off. Check it off. Check
Thank you, Chica. Who wants to do my next time chunk? Brielle, come on up. Man, we might have to spend recess coming in and practicing some math problems without fidgeting around in our desks and not participating. Show me that you can be a 3rd grader during math time. We're sitting up, we're ready to learn. Brielle, what's my next time chunk up here? 15 minutes, go ahead and show us. Bingo, so we're hopping to here, and I'll check it off. Now here's the tricky part about this one. Are you listening? There's 2 questions. Who can read my first question? Olivia, loud and proud.
What time did Lauren
Okay, so this is my end time. This is going to be the time that he left the museum. Could you tell me what time you think that would be, Olivia?
2:15.
Let's double check. Starting at 2 o'clock, let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20. Good. So that's going to be 2:20 a.m. or p.m.? A.m. or p.m.? p.m. So that's the answer to my first question. He left at 2:20 p.m. Who thinks they could figure out how long Lauren was in the museum? That's my second question. Braylon? You think so? Between 1:15 and 2:20? Well, let's see. 1:15 an hour later would be 2:15. And then to get to 2:20, I would need to go 5 more minutes. Nice work, girly. 1 hour, 5 minutes. And I write it just like that. Have you guys practiced this with the subs the last couple days yet? Okay, if you have, thank you for participating. If you have not, we're going to be getting practice doing this, okay? So this is my shortcut for hour. That's my shortcut for minutes. So we will be doing that a lot. Braylon, great work with that one. That was a challenging one. So you may give us a point. What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
The rest of you, it's time to wake up. Please pull out your marker.
Pull out your marker. Pull out your marker. Well, which one though?
I'm going to be having you create your own number line. And you will be solving this problem at your desk. Online friends, you are going to be solving this on your slides today. And so you need your marker out in 5, 4, 3, 2. That's okay. That's all right. We can use tissue one. 1. Addison. And 0. Here's how we make our own timeline. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Oh, I'm so not convinced. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
First step, draw a line. What's your first step?
How big? A big one or a little one?
Well, look at mine.
A big one.
That is really annoying, isn't it? Okay, the next step, you've got to figure out if you have to, what time you want to start at. So if they're like starting a problem, this one's saying 8:45 as his start time. It would be a really smart time to probably start my timeline at. Just an easy, simple one. Keegan? Yeah, I would just do 8. It's a little easier to start with than 8:45. So let's go ahead and our starting line is going to be 8 o'clock. And then we'll figure out AMs and PMs later, okay? Now, if you notice from their previous timelines, they went from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. How many hours would that be? From 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. River? 3 hours. So we'll go ahead and go 3 hours past 8 o'clock. Okay? So 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And we'll space those out. So we'll space it. If you kind of even stretch your fingers out, you can do like 4 fingers here so that they're spaced kind of evenly. And then you can just kind of stretch them. As long as they're spaced pretty even,
Mine all the way.
those will be your o'clocks. So 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And you want to make them kind of even so that they're spaced out. And if it's not, that's the beauty of doing it with your dry erase marker. You can erase it and kind of adjust it a little bit, right? If it's not very even. Go ahead and make sure you've got all the way up to 11 o'clock on there. 8, 9, 10,
I
11.
have like a whole hand.
You might want to adjust yours a little then so they're more even. Okay, who can tell me how many minutes are in an hour? Riley? 60. And so, do you know if we count by 5s, how many 5s that would be?
30.
Good guess, it's close to that. What do you think, Keegan? 12. That means we're gonna actually have 12 lines in between each one. Well, it's 12 odd or even.
Even.
It's even. So first, let's cut it in half. In between each of these, we can cut our time chunks in half. Because we know that would be the half hour, right? Like 8:30, 9:30, and 10:30. And if we cut 12 in half, got our mascot bud? How many would we need on each side? What's half of 12? Think about that and you can show me with your fingers. Half of 12. It's not 5. Half of 12.
It's not 6.
Good, Riley. Good, Macy. Good, Olivia. Good, Keegan. Savannah's got it. Braylon's good. Hadley's good. Emerson's good. Half of 12. I'm looking around. Addison's good. Jade's good. I'm still waiting on a lot of friends to show me. River's good. Gunner's good. Brielle's good. Half of 12. Good, Landon. Eli. Bingo. Everybody, half of 12 is?
6.
Okay, so we need
0.
6 lines on each side of that split. And so we're going to go ahead and really make those nice and even. They get pretty tiny. No, Gunner, not right now. So you're going to have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You actually only have to draw 5 lines because your 6th line is that half one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to put 5 lines in between each of those gaps. How many lines are you going to put in between each gap?
5.
Rylan, how many lines?
5.
Landon, how many lines?
5.
Okay.
5. 5.
So if you made one like my first one where they're not spaced perfect, that's okay.
What
As long as you have the correct
you
number
have
of
to do
lines.
all the way across?
Yep. So just double check that you actually have, then you're going to end up with 12 marks in between each hour. So like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. We're short, just one. There you go. These are looking good. So this helps you whenever they don't give you a number line. This is going to help you so that you can create your own and be ready to solve these time problems.
Not one. Not one. I said a lot.
We're getting closer.
Is it there? Probably from your house. It's from her mother. At your mother's.
Alrighty, my friends. How? Oh my goodness! Don't doodle! Don't doodle, or you'll end up on my strike board, right? That's not what mathematicians do.
Yeah.
We use our tools from math work because we're focused and we're ready to roll. While people are finishing up their number lines, my friends who are done, you're going to read the problem with me, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
We're going to read about Caleb, starting here. Caleb started working
8:45 a.m. He read for 1 hour 45 minutes and rode for 45 minutes.
Pause. If your number line is done, you're reading with us, correct, Ellie? We're reading this together right now. So if you're not drawing your number line, friends, your marker's down, you're grooved. You're figuring out what the problem's gonna be about, so we're gonna go ahead and reread. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Here we go. Caleb started working in the yard
At
Alrighty, I'm looking for mathematicians to give me some key information. What do we need to mark up on this problem, Maddie?
8:45 a.m.
You betcha. That's kind of important. That's his start time, 8:45 a.m. Who can tell me another chunk of time or another chunk of key information to mark up? River.
1 hour 45 minutes.
1 hour, 45 minutes. And another one. Ooh, I'm looking for someone I haven't heard from yet. What other mathematicians can help us out here? What's another chunk of key information here? I've heard from all of these hands. Where are my other people at? Jade.
10 minutes. Yeah, sure.
What's another chunk of key information in here?
He rode for 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Bingo. There's another thing that's not time related, but something important for us to note. And that's how many questions they have. Is it just one question? It's two. So I always circle my question marks just to make sure that I don't forget that I need to have. If there's two questions, how many answers do we need?
1.
Uh-oh. Class.
2. Yes.
If there's two questions, how many answers do we need?
2.
So it's kind of a big deal that we make sure that we know that there's two questions so we don't skip something. Are you ready?
Yes.
My first step. I will give a mathematician a point if they can tell me my first step based on the information we have so far. What do you think, Riley?
I bet someone's gonna you kind of like
To find what? What's the first time that we need to mark? 8:45. Now, hopefully, your half-hour lines were a little bit longer, or they were kind of marked, right? Because that'll make it a little bit easier to find where you can count. So go ahead and on your number line, find 8:45. Should be 3 lines before 9 o'clock, and plot it and label it. 8:45. Riley, is it going to be AM or PM? It is AM. He started at 8:45 AM. Now here's the tricky part, friends. We've done 2 practice problems together. The rest of this is on you. I would like you to use your number line and mark off our key information to answer those 2 questions. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Good luck. Online friends, you are more than welcome to draw out your own number line also. I did mine on pencil and paper too, so you can do that or on your marker boards, and this will be on your slides. Good luck. I am looking for a mathematician that can use my number line to show people their work and kind of double check what's at your desk. So who wants to try my first step? Miss Ryland, and bring your markers up when you come, friends.
So so first we jump an hour.
Good. What's an hour after 8:45, Ryland?
An hour is 10:30.
Oh, not quite. So if I'm at like 2:30, an hour later would be 3:30. So if I start at 8:45, an hour later would be
8:30.
9:45, right? So go ahead and jump 9:45. So we gotta get all the way to 9:45. If this is 9:30, 35, 40, 45. There you go. That's the one you want to jump to. From my star to this line. There you go. Bingo. Thank you, girlie. And you can go ahead and check off 1 hour. You can cross that out on my problem because you already counted us an hour. Yep. Check. All right. Who wants to do my next step? Rylan got us to 9:45. What's next? Landon. Not right now. So she took care. She already counted 1 hour. What's my next chunk of time, Mr. Landon? Oh, look at him just jumping. Let's double check it. Ready? 5. Everybody? 10.
15, 20,
no big deal. Go ahead and mark that off. You already took care of that. All right, who wants to do my next jump here? What's left? Ellie, come on up and show me 45 more minutes, please. Right now we're at 10:30, and he mowed 45 more minutes. So you can actually just count. You can even do one by one, because I think it's really hard to do a big jump of 45. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Yes. Jump there. Go and mark it. I think it was actually one before that. There you go. And that's why, guys, when I mark it, I actually do the little jumps too. It helps sometimes. Good job, girlie. You can cross off that 45 minutes because we took care of it, or check it off. Yep. Perfect. Thank you, thank you. Now, what's left? My number line matches the problem. What do I need to actually do before I can move on? You know, I've heard from Jade and Landon and Braylon, but there's some people I still haven't heard from that I'm waiting on here. Skylar, what's my next step here? Have you actually answered anything? What's the first thing you need to answer? What's their first question? Go ahead and read this for me.
What time did you go inside?
Alright, what time would that be for going inside here? I will apologize, my number line is not very neat, but that was 11 o'clock. So you can kind of see how many minutes after 11 we went. 5, 10, 15, so the end time would be 11. Good, 11:15. So Skylar's right. He said my end time here is 11:15, which I would put that end plot and actually label it 11:15 a.m. or p.m. What do you think, Skylar? Based on this problem. If we started at 8:45 a.m., when we got to 11:15, what time would that be, or what label? AM. Yeah, we're going to stick with AM. He has not crossed noon yet, so we're still in AMs. I'm not kidding about doing math or recess to show me that you guys can stay focused. Let's go. Skylar answered this question. What time did he go inside, everybody?
11:15 a.m.
All right, are we done?
No.
What do I got to do next? What's my next step? Who can tell me? Hadley.
Answer the question.
What question? That wasn't one of my questions, right? What's next?
How long did you work?
Bingo. So there was a second question. How long did he work in the yard? Well, third grade. How can I figure that out? Jade.
I know already how to do it.
Yeah, tell us. Go and show us.
So, if you add 4 and 4, it would make 80. But if you add 2 5s, it would make 90. So,
Oh, I'm.
take the hour and take 2 5s would make 10. 4s would make 2 5s.
Uh-huh.
You would split them into 1.
I'm glad that you're saying that. Hocus pocus. Friends, Jade is adding these up. And I'm really glad she said that because time is tricky. When we're adding normally, I'm going to go ahead and wait until people actually are showing respect to listening. Normally when we add to change place values, you need another group of 10, right?
Yeah.
And so your highest number can be 9, and then if you get 10, then it goes over here, right? When you're adding time, it doesn't work that way because guess what? Is it 10 minutes in an hour?
No, it's 60 minutes in an
It's
hour.
60 minutes in an hour. So we can't just add and say like, okay, there was 45 minutes plus an hour and 45 minutes because guess what? 90 is more than an hour, right? Because how many minutes are in an hour?
60.
60. So that doesn't work,
2:30.
right? And so instead
That's
of doing,
2:30.
instead of just adding my time up, I'm gonna have us stick with a different strategy. Go ahead, yeah, and we'll look at our start time and our end time from 8 o'clock to 11:15. How can you tell how long that would be? You could do that too, yeah. But let's look at this. 8 o'clock. If we go 1 hour, that gets us to 9 o'clock. So that's 1 hour. 2 hours. 3 hours. And then how many minutes?
3 hours and 15 minutes.
Bingo. So how long did he work in the yard?
3 hours and 15 minutes.
And remember, you write that just like this. Or you write out the words, hours and minutes. I'm going to look and see if we can all practice writing that on our desks quick. From, oh, it's not our start time. Yeah. My lines are wrong. My bad.
So it's 2 hours.
Yeah, let's double check.
That's what I got at online.
From 8:45, 1 hour would be 9:45, and then 10:45 would get us to 2 hours. And then we gotta count how many hours from 10:45 gets us to 11:15. Ready? 5.
10, 15, 20,
So 2 hours and
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Does that sound better, friends?
Yes.
Do you agree with that time, or you think something different? My participators are agreeing with me. Thank you, Jade. We are in activity numero dos.
Activity numero dos.
Instead of adding time, now we are going to subtract time. I need your attention for 3 more problems. How many more problems?
3 more problems.
Are you with me?
Yes.
This is the first one. Numero uno. Hank finished bowling at 7:15 p.m. He bowled for 2 hours and 35 minutes. I'm going the wrong way there, sorry. At what time did he start bowling? I want to show you guys how I do this. Check it out.
Check it out, check it out, check it out.
Hello. Check it out.
Check it out, check it out, check it out.
Okay, first we mark our key information. He finished at 7:15. He bowled for 2 hours and 35 minutes. And they want to know what time did he start. Well, if I have an end time and I have to figure out when he started, are we counting forward or backward?
Backward.
Backward. So instead of putting my star here, I'm going to put my end point. He finished at 7:15, and I noticed that in between 7 o'clock and 7:30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Perfect. They're still counting by 5. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 7:15 p.m. is my end time. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. He bowled for 2 hours and 35 minutes. What would be 2 hours before 7:15? Think about that. 1 hour before 7:15 would be 6:15. 2 hours before 7:15 would be...
5:15.
So I'm going to go ahead and find 5:15 first. 5, 10, 15. And then I'll make that big jump. Because otherwise it's really silly to just make a random jump without knowing where I'm going, right? 2 hours. Done. Done. What's left, Gunner? Yeah? So instead of just guessing on that, I'll actually count 35 minutes. Count with me, please. 5,
5, 10, 15, 20.
So this is when he started bowling. So I'll go and put my star here. Who can tell me how to figure out what time that is? What was his start time for bowling, Olivia? If it's 2 lines after 4:30, what time would that be?
4:30.
In my brain, I usually just actually say like 4:30, 35. So then my time would be 4:40. And then we got to think about that label. If he ended at 7:15 p.m., he started at 4:40 p.m. Good. If he ended in the evening, he probably started in the afternoon, right? Very good. You guys ready for my next one?
Yes, we
That
are.
means we only have 2 left. One of them with me and one of them on your own. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Numero 5.
Numero 5.
Please read with me. His name is Miguel. Ready? Miguel has a job walking dogs. Oh, we're going to rewind until everyone's reading with me. Miguel has a job walking dogs. He finished walking the dogs at
7:10 p.m.
He walked the dogs for
2 hours and 40 minutes.
What time did Miguel start walking the dogs? Key information. Who's got some key information for me? Brielle.
Finished walking the dogs at
Good. So what should I mark on here? Which part needs underlined? 7:10 p.m. All right. Well, what else is key information, Macy? 2 hours and 40 minutes. Bingo. And what time did he start? So we got the finish time. Who can run up here and point out where 7:10 would be on this number line? Eli, come on up. If he ended at 7:10, where would that be on this number line? Bingo. 7:05, 7:10. And I will plot it and label it. What are the 2 things I do? Bingo. And I can cross that off now because I took care of it. Next up, Jade.
We would go back 2 hours, which would be 5:10.
Perfect. 5:10. So here's 5 o'clock. 5:05, 5:10. And so I found that first because that's a big jump to try to just do that randomly, right? So good. Jade just run us back 2 hours. Am I done?
No.
What's left? Maddie.
You have to
Do 4 minutes.
add the 40 minutes.
Good. I gotta go 40 more minutes, and so hopefully there's enough space left on my timeline, right? Go ahead and count with me. Ready? 5.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Oh, they just scraped that in. Okay. Let's figure out what time that is. How much time before 5 o'clock? Count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Anybody know off the top of their head what 30 minutes before 5 o'clock would be? River?
5:30.
Well, if it's before 5 o'clock, it would be
4:30.
4:30
p.m.
p.m. Nice work, guys. What time did Miguel start walking the dogs, everybody?
4:30.
You ready to try your own?
Yep.
Okay, this is your practice problem. You can pop it on my desk.
She said yes.
All right. You can either be mentally looking up at my number line, or it's very helpful to draw your own, which we learned how to do, right? So I will read it to you, and then I will let you get to work. No, we're not going to the restroom until we get this practice problem done. Motivation to stay focused. The school music program ended at 8:35 p.m. It lasted for 1 hour, 50 minutes. What time did the program start? Online friends, this will be on your slides. Everybody here, feel free to draw your own number line to solve it, or you can look up at my number line here. I will give you 3 minutes on the clock to solve this. Good luck.